सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुवे नमः। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरे परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरि ओम तत्सत। Welcome to today's Yoga Vashisht Satsang. Every Friday we get together and enjoy the nectar of Yoga Vashishtha, and on Sundays we enjoy Srimad Bhagavad Gita, both beautiful and very profound scriptures. Our humble prostrations to the all-pervading Brahman, to our worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayanandaji Maharaj, to all the sages and saints, all the scriptures, and to the divinity in each one of you. हमारा दंडवत प्रणाम है उस ब्रह्मांडीय ईश्वरीय शक्ति को, हमारे परम पूज्य गुरुदेव स्वामी ज्योतिर्मयानंद जी महाराज को, सब साधु संतों को, ऋषियों मुनियों को, ग्रंथों को और आप सब में विद्यमान परमेश्वर को नमन. Also happy Gupta Navratri to all of you. As you know, we are going through mother worship, 9 days of mother worship also during this auspicious time. So lots of spirituality in the air. Let us pray together before we start the satsang for everybody, the whole universe. Wherever there is pain, may there be relief, may there be peace, happiness, joy. May there be no hunger, no pain, no struggles. If there is unemployment, may people find jobs. May each soul evolve in this plane of earth. सबका मंगल हो, कल्याण हो, सबका जहाँ दुख है दुख मिटे, कष्ट खत्म हो. बहुत जहाँ जहाँ हम प्रार्थना करें मिलकर सबका कल्याण के लिए कि सबका मंगल हो, सबका भला हो. With that prayer, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःख भाग भवेत्. May all be happy, may all be healthy, disease free. May all see good in others, not with doubtful eyes but with loving eyes. Look at this whole universe as our family. And may no one suffer. May all be blissful. This is the holy prayer. Sabka kalyan ho, mangal ho. With this prayer, let us start Polar Swamiji's message for today. Enjoy it together. Guruji says, blessed self-adorations, Divyatman Pranam. Develop a balanced mind. समत्वम करना सीखिए, ऐसा मन रखिए जो दोनों में सम रहे. Prosperity and adversity both affect a person. Obviously, prosperity comes, we get elated. Adversity comes, we get sad. Prosperity affects him by creating elation, overflowing feelings of joy, and adversity affects him by creating sorrow, grief, and dejection. So when pain comes, we want pain to go away as quickly as possible and not come. And when joy comes, prosperity comes, we want it to stay forever and never leave. yet both come and leave. They arrive and depart, and continuing agitation to us. So, if you worry over a negative development, you cannot cure it. तो चिंता चिता समान बोलते हैं. चिंता, worry, and chita, there is only, if you know how to write Hindi, there is only a one dot difference between chinta and chita. Chinta means worry, chita means cremation, fire. So if we overly worry, we go to the grave early. So therefore they say, don't do chinta, don't do too much worrying. If you worry over a negative development, you cannot cure it. तो उसका कुछ हल नहीं होगा. यदि आप चिंता करते रहेंगे तो उससे क्या हल निकलेगा? If you blame your past, you will not find the remedy for your worrying habit. तो यदि आप अपने भूतकाल में ही ध्यान करते रहेंगे, उसका ही सोचते रहेंगे, तो उसका कुछ हल नहीं निकलेगा. You cannot create a solution by wandering in the past. Do not be elated by prosperity, nor should you be depressed by adversity. So, this is also the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Samatvam yoga uchyate. It's best to keep an even keel, equanimity of mind. तो बहुत खुश नहीं होइए, बहुत दुखी नहीं होइए, दोनों में सम रहिए. ये भी आके चला जाता है. This too shall pass. Resign to the divine will. तो ईश्वरीय शक्ति को समर्पित हो जाइए. Give yourself, उस सृष्टि में विश्वास कीजिए. Thus outstepping your ego, you will enjoy boundless peace within yourself. So जब आप अपने अहंकार से ऊपर उठ जाएंगे, अहंकार को हटा देंगे, तो आपको बहुत शांति की अनुभूति होगी अपने ही अंदर से. Within yourself. You don't have to be looking outside for peace and happiness. That resides within you. हमारे ही अंदर वो सब सुख है, शांति है, लेकिन उसको हमें ही खोजना होगा. We have to remember equanimity is the key word. तो दोनों हालत में सम रहना सीखें. With this, let us chant our Kirtan together, and then we will continue with the Satsanga. Yoga Vashishtha. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Mam. Shri Ganesh, Shri Ganesh, Shri Ganesh, Raksha Mam. Sharvan Bhav, Sharvan Bhav, Sharvan Bhav, Pahi Mam. Kartikeya, 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 Raksha Mam. Jaya Saraswati, Jaya Saraswati, Jaya Saraswati, Pahi Mam. Shri Saraswati, Shri Saraswati, Shri Saraswati, Raksha Mam. Jaya Guru Shiv Guru Hari Guru Ram. Jagat Guru Param Guru Sad Guru Sham. Om Adi Guru Advait Guru Anand Guru Om. Chid Guru Chid Ghan Guru Chinmaya Guru Om. Jagat Guru Om Guru Sachitananda. Shankracharya Shivananda Jyotirmayananda. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva 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 Shivaya Namah. Om Har 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 Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Ramachandraya. Anjaneya, 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 pahi mam. Hanumanta, 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 raksha mam. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, pahi mam. Brahma Shakti, Vishnu Shakti, Shiva Shakti, raksha mam. Adi Shakti, Mahashakti, Parashakti, pahi mam. इच्छा शक्ति क्रिया शक्ति ज्ञान शक्ति रक्ष माम. गंगा रानी, गंगा रानी, गंगा रानी, पाहि माम. भागीरथी, 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 रक्ष माम. हरि ओम, हरि ओम, हरि 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 ओम. हरि ओम, हरि ओम, हरि 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 ओम. ओम शांति, ओम शांति, ओम शांति, 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 ओम. So let us continue our journey on this wonderful scripture, very detailed scripture with 32,000 shlokas, Yoga Vashisht. It takes many years to complete the full, if you study it in a deep way. Otherwise, at surface level, there are two big volumes you have to go through. But we are taking our time. We pick up a section, we dissect it, introspect it, go deeper and learn the deeper meaning. उसका हम अर्थ समझते हैं कि इसका तात्पर्य क्या है. So we are on the final stages where Lord Rama is being guided by his Guruji Vashisht Muni. Yoga Vashisht, that's why it's called Yoga Vashisht. Yog means to connect with God, and Vashisht is Lord Rama's Guru who's showing the way. So today we will be studying section 173 and 174, the negation of illusion. What is illusion? It is Maya. What is Maya? Maya is Mother Nature's magic. What appears but is not. That's the paradoxical statement. Whatever appears real is unreal, and what you cannot see is real. And this is the mystery we have to decode together through satsanga, through our spiritual practice, nama japa, meditation, mantra. That's why we go through this journey, our spiritual sadhana together. So, the negation of illusion, meaning illusion has to be negated, and it is very simple yet very difficult at the same time. We all know this is Maya. This is, we all come, we get a body, the body grows, the body gets into youth, middle age, old age, we marry, we have children, we die. That's it. So, what else happens? Why is this Maya? And we get so caught up in this Maya. It seems so real. Yet, everything that is changing is going from nothing back into nothing. It didn't exist, it appears to exist, and it won't exist, isn't it? So, that is the journey that we have to understand together, and that is what Lord Rama is trying to understand from his guru, that how do you negate illusion? Illusion is something that you cannot describe. अनिवर्चनीय हिंदी में शब्द आता है अनिवर्चनीय, मीनिंग वो नहीं है, इट डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट. सो है भी और नहीं भी, उसको माया बोलते हैं. सपोज यू ड्रीम, व्हेन यू ड्रीम You see a world in front of you, you see images, you see pictures, you see a snake, you see a mountain, whatever your dream is that you see. From your bed, you created your dream, and in your dream, you are running, you are talking, you are perspiring. Good dreams, bad dreams, everything you see in the dream is your creation. You have created that dream. And when you wake up, that dream dissolves, gone. Nothing shows up on your bed. एक भी चीज आपके बिस्तरे पर नहीं रहती. Everything is gone as if. So then, it what is Maya? What is illusion? We therefore say it is indescribable. We cannot say it exists, we cannot say it doesn't exist. And that is why it defeats all logic, all science, the things we are used to grasping by our mind, by our intellect. जो चीज हम मन और बुद्धि से पकड़ना चाहते हैं वो उसकी पकड़ से बाहर है. That is why it's called the spiritual dimension, not so easy to grasp. Because if you say dream doesn't exist, because when you wake up it's not there, but something was there, isn't it? Where did it arise from? You clearly see, you were seeing, you were experiencing colors, sounds, things, and then so therefore something was there. You woke up, it doesn't exist, nothing comes with you in your waking state. While you were asleep, you were not awake. When you are awake, you are not asleep. So you cannot dream and be awake at the same time. So that is the problem of this conundrum, of this mystery. यही इसको हमको समझना है इकट्ठे, तभी हम इसको समझ पाएंगे. ये बहुत गूढ़ ज्ञान है. That's why it takes time and patience and regular sadhana. And it is decoded by Guru and God's grace. जब भगवान की कृपा होती है, ईश्वर की कृपा होती है, गुरु की कृपा होती है, तो ये खुलता है. Dream arises without contradicting the state of sleep, isn't it? Technically, you are sleeping, eyes are closed, you are lying down on a bed, but you are walking in your dream. You are talking in your dream. You are experiencing in your dream. So there is no contradiction, isn't it? On one hand, you are sleeping, on another hand, you are doing everything, but you have transitioned into a different world. This is nature's way of showing you Maya, isn't it? माया का ये गूढ़ ज्ञान प्रभु हमको देते हैं. So, in the same way, the state of Jivan Mukti, what is Jivan Mukti? What we are all aspiring for, liberation in life, because we are aspirants. हम लोग क्या हैं? हम लोग मुमुक्षु हैं, मुमुक्षु साधक. We want to not come back to this cycle of life and death because it is very painful. Every time birth is painful, death is painful, old age is painful, disease is painful, and then you have to see death of your loved ones, and one day you also will have to depart. एक दिन हमको भी जाना पड़ेगा. तो इस सब में बहुत पीड़ा है. इसीलिए इसको बोला जाता है that we want liberation in life. जीवन मुक्ति is when you get enlightened and you are still alive. That is that process that arises even while the personality of a sage lingers in the dream of the world process. In the same way, just like you are dreaming and sleeping at the same time, on your bed you sleep, in your sleep you dream, and in your dream you walk. So you are sleeping and walking at the same time. Much in the same way, sages and saints who are liberated, for them the waking world becomes just like that. It becomes like a dream. For you it is real. They have woken up. When you awake from your dream, जब आप अपने स्वप्न से खड़े हो जाते हैं, and now no more dream, it's gone. Everything you remember only, but it's gone. Your bed is the same, If you were eating popcorns in your dream, not even a little popcorn will show up on your bed. Everything evaporates. ऐसे ही जब हम उठते हैं, when we wake up, but why then we don't get enlightened? Because we are um, covered by ignorance. That's why. Whereas the sages and saints who have purified themselves through God's blessings, you cannot get it just by yourself. Anybody who says that is deluded, because this journey is, it, of course, it requires a lot of effort, sadhana, japa, nam smaran, reading of scriptures, but intellectual knowledge alone is not sufficient. So, what do we need? We need Guru Kripa and we need Ishwar Kripa. So, we need competent study and guidance, and we also need God's grace, Guru's grace. Then we can also become like the liberated sages, Jivan Mukt Sant, like our Guruji and others. There are other people also, like Swami Jyotirmayananda and other saints who have, but very, very few. Lot of people think they are enlightened, but they are far from that. See, because this state is a very, this is a anubhav, it's an experience, not just intellectual. You can be a very good orator, you can know all the shlokas by heart, but it may still be, you may, at the PhD level, you may become a doctor, but that doesn't mean you get enlightened. That's the difference. So, to get enlightened, you have to become totally follow the scriptures and follow the guidance of the proper lineage or the proper guru. So then the guru wakes up. For him, there is no world, because he was dreaming and now he is up. Up meaning Jivan Mukti, liberation. That is the fourth state. You see, there are four stages. 99.9% of the people in this world, this is called Mrityu Lok. इस धरती को क्या बोला जाता है? मृत्यु लोक. Why do they call it Mrityu Lok? Because we all die. Mrityu means death. I know it's a gory way to say it, but it's the reality. Therefore, they call it the world of transience. Nothing can stick, nothing can stay. So, why worry then? All you have to do is understand that everything changes form. No such thing as real death. Nothing is ever wasted. So, uh, waking, dream, deep sleep, everybody in the world of life and death in this plane experiences three states. But the Jivan Mukta Santa, liberated sages, have four states. So it's like the fourth dimension. There's a whole new dimension to which we have no access. We are trying to get access, but that all depends on our effort, our sincerity, our time available, and our prior karmas, janmas, what effort we have done in our past lives. So it's a complicated calculus. So, but every step you are taking, every satsang you are attending, every scripture you are reading, if you are sincere, it's taking you that much closer to your goal. And then one day, like the dark night, it's over and then the sun shines. So, most people only know three states. Which three states? Waking, dream, deep sleep. Can you do anything outside of these three states? Either we are awake, working, gardening, shopping, eating, watching TV, you are awake. Sleeping, you just go to bed and then you dream or not dream. Most people dream and they get very little deep sleep. And then, if you are lucky, you go into deep sleep where mind also shuts down. वहां पर मन की भी कुछ सत्ता नहीं, मन भी शांत हो जाता है. गूढ़ निद्रा उसको बोलते हैं, डीप स्लीप स्टेट. तो उसमें मन भी शांत हो जाता है. That is the deeper implication of this. But the sages and saints, they have this whole thing they call Turiya. Turiya meaning they go into the fourth dimension. This is what we in common language say transcendental meditation. You heard of that word, right? Transcend. In reality, very, very few people touch that level of transcendent. They may touch it for a second, come back, then again, maybe they'll go. But it's very hard to sustain that state. But once you get enlightened, then that state becomes your reality. No longer that 1 second view, you are all the time there. Then they have four states: waking, dream, deep sleep, and turiya. But their fourth state is never shaken, it's always constant. Even though they are living in this world, they will grow old, they will also get disease, they will also feel hungry, they will also die. Who? Liberated people. They will also go through all these physical symptoms just like we do, but internally they have achieved the heights of the light, which is perpetual shanti, shashvatam, total peace. So this world is like a city in dream for them. Just like you dream, and when do you know you were dreaming? When you wake up. When you are dreaming, while you are dreaming, we don't know. So therefore a man of wisdom does not develop attachments to the objects of the world. Why is Vashisht Muni harking on this, emphasizing? Because he says, doesn't matter how alluring these objects are, how real they look, but it's just like a city in a dream. And when do you wake up from your dream? Most people don't don't wake up in their lifetime. They wake up when they die, right? Or their last breath. Only when the body passes away, they say, "Oh, my dream woke. I woke up, and what is this? And I was seeing this dream." And that's only on their journey towards the next embodiment. Whereas the Jivan Mukta people, liberated sages and saints, or those who are enlightened, they have achieved that state while alive. Now, they have already done it. But that fourth dimension cannot be explained to anybody. It cannot be given to anybody. It's not like money. You can give somebody your money or your possessions or your will. It doesn't work like that. This has to be earned. Even the guru can only guide. He can only say, look, this is what, these are the things I did to get there. That's all he can say. And then it's all up to the sadhak and God's divinity. The plan is very deep. This is why it's called a deep science, a deep mystery. So the numerous Okay, so when awakened, the dream is effaced, and when enlightened, the self alone remains. So, just like when you wake up from your dream, you are up, but the dream is not, isn't it? Dream is gone, you are up. But you were first sleeping, the dream was there. When enlightened, the sages are enlightened, then for them everything becomes the self only. Self meaning Atma, consciousness, that God particle, that connection that is perpetually alive. It does not, it's not affected by death, it is indivisible, unborn, undying. समझ गए? तो उसमें कुछ मृत्यु नहीं है, जीवन नहीं है, आपकी आत्मा ब्रह्म से जुड़ी है. It is connected to the divinity. So therefore, what is left? Self, which means they don't see the world like you and I do. For us, we say, oh, this is this is that. He is good, he is bad, he is mean, he is nice. I am getting promoted, I am rich, I am poor, I am Indian, I am Japanese. All these labels we have put but they are all different dreams for an enlightened sage. Even his own body is transient to him. He looks at it as a third person. So, but they see the self everywhere. What does that mean? That इसका क्या मतलब कि they see self everywhere, आत्मा को सब जगह. मतलब even in Gita the shloka clearly says, जब मुक्ति हो जाता है, जीवन मुक्ति प्राप्त होता है, तब आपको हर कोई अपनी तरह प्रतीत होता है. Everybody seems to you the same. You see the self in everybody, and that self we just mentioned is indivisible. It cannot be cut, it cannot be dissected. It is one God, and everything else is its reflection. Can the sun ever discard its reflection? No, every ray will go back. Every reflection is part of that sun only. Much in the same way, whether enlightened or not, that doesn't matter. We are all part of that same cosmic consciousness we call God, divinity, or cosmic plan. You can go through Christianity, you go through Buddhism, you go through Islam, you go through Hinduism. All these religions are only simple man made tools to try to help us to get to that point. Otherwise, you have within your body every single thing to get you to that destination. When you follow these Vedantic principles that are explained in the Upanishads, and those are explained in the Bhagavad Gita and Yoga Vasishtha. Yoga Vasishtha is pretty much like Upanishads, except everything in the Upanishad has been condensed and put here already, except it's made more like a story, dream within a dream. That's what Yoga Vashishta is. Just sometimes, suppose you are dreaming, in your dream state, you are watching yourself going to bed and dreaming. So, a dream within a dream. That is the state of different Yoga Vashishta concepts that they talk about. So the numerous desires of dream appear real while one is dreaming, as we just said. In the same way, the desires of the waking state seem real, isn't it? When somebody pinches us, we feel the pain. When somebody excites us, we like it. Those are all sense reactions, but are actually unreal to the one who is intuitively awakened. Intuitively awaken. That's called prajna. So you cannot intellectually awaken yourself. You have to be intuitively awakened. There is no other way. और कुछ तरीका नहीं है अपना कल्याण करने के लिए. So, when the fiery wisdom of the unreality of object scorches the seed of worldly impressions, then an enlightened sage perceives the world like burnt up clothes. So जब साधु संतों का ज्ञान जागता है, जब वो मुक्त हो जाते हैं, तो उन्हें संसार एक स्वप्न की तरह प्रतीत होता है, और वो फिर किसी भी चीज को बहुत अटैच नहीं फील करते, उससे जुड़ते नहीं हैं. The wisdom burns, that intuitive wisdom of enlightenment scorches the worldly impressions. Where are these worldly impressions? Within your unconscious. From many, many embodiments, many births, millions of lives we have had, every reaction of I like this, I don't like this is good, this is bad, has now created a karma phala, has created a seed, and that seed is called vritti. That is what has gone in your unconscious, those bij state, those dormant seeds that germinate otherwise. In the state of enlightenment, they are all burnt up, just like popcorns. While you take that grain and you put it in the form or in the mud, it will pop up, it will come. But once it's turned into a popcorn and you have burnt it, you have popped it, it can no longer germinate, no matter how much water you give it, no matter how much fertilizer you put into it, isn't it? कुछ नहीं होगा। अब वो पॉपकॉर्न बन चुका है, वो बीज नहीं है। लेकिन जब तक वो बीज स्थिति में है, while it is a seed, somebody gives it proper manure, they put proper water, sunlight comes, it will sprout and it will grow. So that is the problem for worldly people. They have not burnt up the seeds through intuitive fire. But for the enlightened sages and saints, they have already done so. And it happens through, um, there is no physical fire burning inside of you. It happens through a subtle energy, just like your dream. When it comes in your um, dream state, your room is the same size, your bed is the same size, yet your dream, you are in a field running, playing soccer, flying in an aeroplane. So no restriction of space. Much in the same way, in your consciousness, आपकी आत्मा में जो ये फैलाव होता है, जो ये ज्ञान होता है, जब ये आ जाता है तो सब कुछ दग्ध अवस्था हो जाता है. All the seeds inside your consciousness are burned up, meaning you are now enlightened, which means enjoy the popcorns, smile, laugh, have fun, don't worry, you are already enlightened. Now you are not coming back to the transient world anymore. So you can help people, you can have fun, you can do whatever you want. But most sages and saints are filled with gratitude. It's like when somebody has been, there are many people drowning the sea. Everywhere the sea, they are on a ship and they know how to swim. They also have a rope. So they could enjoy music or do whatever, but they don't feel good. They have attained something, other people are struggling for it, so they continue to give their hand, throw rope, sometimes jump in to save the people that they want to, because they have already found a solution, isn't it? That's why we say we can never pay back the debt that the sages have given us through everything they give us through their compassion, and want us to also, they see the self and they don't do us any favor, because they are really not seeing us as something different. If you do something for your son, you will not say, I have done something big for you, I owe you or you owe me. It's one. Your family is one. Much in the same way, when these sages and saints help us, they do it with that feeling that hum sab ek hi hain. We are all one self. And that is why we say the self alone remains. You see, these things have to be understood under proper guidance. If you just read this Yoga Vashishtha on your own intellectually, this knowledge, this depth will not come out. Therefore, same with the Bhagavad Gita or with anything. Even for simple things like philosophy or reading a poet's, what is it, Shakespeare or something, on your own you will find it very boring, very tedious, very hard to understand. But a teacher may properly put the right light and the right context and why this statement was said, and that will give you a whole different dimension. That is why we give gratitude to the guru, to the teacher. So, in the same way, the desires of the waking state seem real but are actually unreal to the one who is intuitively awakened. See, just like we dream and then we wake up, so the desires in the waking state seem real to you, because we are living in this world, and but the dream doesn't seem real to you, although it's very similar. in your astral body, the dream comes up, but they are actually unreal to the one who is intuitively awakened. Meaning, for you, your dream is unreal and your waking is real. For Jivan Mukt saints, liberated saints and sages and liberated beings, for them the world is unreal and the transcendental state called Turiya is real. That is where they live. Just like for you, dream is unreal, but this living world is real. So we have not touched the fourth dimension as of yet. That is why sages and saints all ask us to experience meditation, dhyana karo, yajna karo, tap karo, go deeper and deeper within so you can start seeing the light. You sleep also. In deep sleep also you experience joy, pain disappears, fear goes away, all the stress is gone, and you wake up refreshed. But we are the same, we don't change, we don't get enlightened. हमें ज्ञान नहीं होता, कुछ परिवर्तन नहीं आता, same thing again starts happening. So, and we start the new day, day after day, month after month, year after year, we remain the same. So, but the the point here to learn is when you take that time to meditate during Brahma Muhurta, you wake up between 3:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. if possible. If not, any time is okay. Start somewhere. But if you have the option to do it early in the morning, the sattva is very high, purity is very high. All sages and saints are meditating at that time. वो सब लोग उस समय साधु संत ऋषि मुनि ध्यान करते हैं. And all the demoniac people are by then sleeping. All the bars close at 2 or 3, and then people are by 4 a.m. all the tamas is gone, or people are in a different world. So the sattva, when you create in the Brahma Muhurta, is very beneficial, and you are consciously opening the cave of your heart. अपने हृदय में जो आपकी तंतु हैं, जो भगवान का वास है, उसको आप खोल रहे हैं बाय योर एफर्ट. Whereas in deep sleep, there is no effort, you just sleep. When the mind is running here, there, it dreams. It's called the astral body. समझ गए? उसको बोला जाता है astral body, और मतलब सूक्ष्म शरीर. And then when the mind gets tired, it says, okay, I don't want to think about it anymore, I don't want to dream anymore. Then it stops its activities, and that is called deep sleep. You must have wondered, how come the dream suddenly stops and you go, or you switch in between, you sleep, you wake up and go through all that. That is what it's all based on your mind's reaction. That's why they say, Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandho mokshoha. Mind is your best friend, and it is also at the same time your worst enemy. Such a big statement. Same mind can be your best friend and get you liberated, and the same mind can corrupt you and make you to do crimes or commit suicide even. It will convince you that you are a failure, your life is no good, you are useless. So, therefore, putting in positive thoughts, putting in the right thinking, studying the right scriptures, being guided properly, because human bad bhagi manav tan pawa, sab rishi muni grantha hi gawa. This human body is so precious. Out of 8.4 million species, we are blessed to be born as human. Think about that for a second. You could have been a roach, you could have been an ant, you could have been a tree, you could have been a cow, a cat, a rat, or millions of other species. And yet, God has given us intellect, wisdom, a human body, all the resources we need for our evolution. Then, after all this, if we still if we still waste that, and all we do is we um, get lost in the world process, thinking the world is real, we have missed a golden opportunity to get enlightened and to forever kick the bucket of life and death. That is why all the sages and saints remind us time is clock is ticking, tick 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 tick. We are not getting any younger. We were babies once, huh? Now we are older, and even everybody is going through this. It's like a river flowing, 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 and therefore catch it before it's too late, like a candle that's burning. So when, like the mountain seen in a dream, this world exists in the night of ignorance. So we are studying the topic of negation of illusion. तो जो ये भ्रांति है, माया की भ्रांति, माया ना सत है ना असत है. It just appears, it is neither real nor unreal, but it is very powerful. Nobody can easily say, ah, Maya, it's okay, I have crossed Maya, I know how to handle Maya. Nobody can handle Maya. Even Narad ji has been coming under Maya's sway many times. There are many stories. So therefore, what we need is humility. तो हमें क्या करना चाहिए? नम्रता के साथ, भक्ति के साथ, शरणागति के साथ हमें माया को प्रणाम करना चाहिए. And that is actually Kundalini Shakti. Those of you who know Kundalini Yoga, that is the serpent power, the she portion, the coiled, the three Kundali serpent female energy is the Maya. And when she goes above your chakras of Mooladhara, Swadhishthan, Manipur, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Agya, Sahasrar, it's the journey of Prakriti to Purush. From Maya, she's now going on her journey and trying to unite with her uh, beloved lover, Lord Shiva. Mata Parvati, Lord Shiva. So that is the other way to look at this whole dimension. But there are different ways. But in Vedanta, it basically says Maya and Purush are the same, in unison. They are the same energy, but you have to learn how to transcend Maya. Different conditions are experienced in dream without any consistent cause or reason. Now, can you ever predetermine what kind of dream you are going to have tonight? Will it be a nightmare or will it be a sweet dream? Will it be a happy dream? Nobody knows. And sometimes not logical also. Somebody from your departed soul, somebody who has passed away, may show up in your dream, but they are not alive. How can they show up in your dream? So this is what it is, that it doesn't have to be, it can be, there cannot be any reason that you are used to in this world. Sometimes you can have a human with a lion's body, lion head, nursing avatara, those kind of things. In the same way, even the waking world continues to unravel conditions that baffle human reason and frustrate one's fond desires. You may want something, that's why businesses go bankrupt, people lose money, and they commit crimes. Who wants to go in jail? Does anybody say, hey, I like jail, I want to be there? But they end up there, whether they like it or not. They did something foolish, you say. Yes, but why did that happen? So, this is what it is. Using intellect, theory of karma, many things are at play here. It's not such a simple thing as, okay, when time is wrong, we in Sanatana Dharma, we say Vinash Kale Vipreet Buddhi. When time for your destruction comes, your own intellect will ditch you. You will not be able to remember, and your thoughts will also become stupid. time. So therefore, we should always be very humble, very, um, very simple, pure, no chalaki, no cunningness, no trying to trick the system, trying to trick God. Oh, who will see? Your conscience has already seen it. God is already sitting inside your heart. So, therefore, liberation cannot be attained by mere suppressions of thought waves or by subjecting the senses and the mind to severe austerities. Very important section this is, because so many people waste their life. That is just another wave, another wave. So, this is why we say many of us have been doing this tapasya for many, many births to get to this stage where a scripture like Yoga Vasishtha comes, an enlightened guru comes, and then you have the desire to learn. All these things don't happen just like that. So, a person may do severe austerities. तो तपस्या करिए. Thus, so many people don't eat for many, many days, very little, or they are standing on one foot. Even in India today, people do that. So many people, so many sadhus are doing this. But the real knowledge is you cannot suppress the thought waves. See, you have to learn how to deal with the flow of thoughts. Otherwise, that pressure will explode, implosion, just like that shuttle Titan that imploded, right? Just few days ago, praying for the souls of all those five people. But what really happens is that we cannot, these thought waves that we have, if you suppress it, it will explode, the pressure will build up. You cannot be happy. Therefore, uh, giving up something externally, and Bhagavad Gita also, यही बात भगवत गीता में भी सिखाया जाता है कि तुम बाहर से कुछ छोड़ दो, मन में सोच रहे हो. Externally you are fasting, inwardly you are feasting. Tomorrow I will eat this. Today I'm not eating food, but tomorrow I will make it up. I will eat double. So, if that is what is going on, then what we are doing is we are hurting ourselves only. Suppression of thought waves will boomerang. You know, most weight diets don't work. That's why, because they force you, don't eat, don't eat, don't eat, or you crave for something, you don't eat it, and then um, and you also lose weight, you feel very good for 1 month. Then what happens? One day somebody doesn't talk to you properly, or you have an argument with somebody, then that's it. You come home, empty your ice creams, and then give up everything. This doesn't work. So that is not the way. Spiritual journey is the same. You cannot achieve success in a day or in a year or in a few months. It doesn't work like that. You have to suppress, but mentally be prepared for that journey also. Then you will benefit. Just telling the mind to go through severe austerities, बहुत बड़ा बड़ा तपस्या करने से कुछ नहीं होगा, मुक्ति नहीं मिलेगा. यहाँ पर योग वशिष्ठ बता रहे हैं स्पष्ट, कितना बड़ा बात है. तो what Vashisht Muni is saying here, as long as the world is conceived of a reality in one's consciousness, जब तक आपके मन में संसार की चाह है, तब तक मुक्ति तो संभव नहीं है. स्वर्ग संभव हो जाएगा, अच्छी अच्छी चीजें संभव हो जाएंगी, एक अच्छा जन्म भी संभव हो जाएगा. So what I just said is that one thing, uh, if you have even a little bit of a worldly desire and you are on the path of liberation, then liberation cannot happen according to who? According to Yoga Vasishtha, that Muni. He's saying why? Because the consciousness still has desires. It still wants the world, and it can be any desire. lustful desires, success desires, name desires, fame desires, family desires, love of kid desires, your clothes, things, blah, blah, blah. Endless. How can you ever find a dimension to that? So, Vashisht Muni says that so long liberation is impossible. But heaven is possible. Hell, avoiding hell is very much possible. It becomes very easy because you are not going in that direction at all. So that's why we tell people that there are different levels of sadhana. Which level do you want to be? You don't teach a kindergartner PhD level mathematics right away, right? It will not work. So therefore you first have to teach somebody according to their skill level. A for apple, B for boy, this is the capital letter, this is the small letter. Learn how to write in words and sentences and letters. That's fine, and that's not a bad thing, because at that level, for that grade, that is the only thing that is needed, nothing more. So we have to be very realistic on what we are trying to achieve. If you want liberation, then your heart has to be crystal pure, just like God. Then your consciousness is your becomes your reality, and then you are fine. One day the light curtain opens up and you see the light and you get mukti. But if we are in this realm of the world process, जब तक हम इस संसार के चक्र में हैं और आत्मा को हम बोल रहे हैं आत्मा करना, I know, but internally our mind is always in the world, it's in the politics, it's in the food, it's in the things, and it's in the possessions. Then understand, uh, which Yoga Vashisht is very clear, that liberation is impossible for such souls. Not that they will, it depends on the intensity, mild, medium, hot. What level on a scale of 1 to 10? How do you feel? They ask these questions these days. So that is why we also have to say, on a scale, how deep is our desire and what are we willing to do for it? Have you read the story of Milarepa and his guru, Marpa? I think you should read that. It will be very eye opening to see at the time what some of the disciplines were required by these gurus, Marpa and so on, and what Milarepa had to do all his life to get his guru just to give him Diksha. It took him 25 years just to agree that I will give you. And he made his home, he did this, he did that. So much of difficulty he had to go through. But we are very fortunate. We have an enlightened master who is more like a mother than a father, who has always given, just give, and and yet it's up to us, right? How much you want to receive, because जब वर्षा होता है तो अगर बर्तन उल्टा है तो उसमें कुछ नहीं जाएगा. When it is raining, the pot has to be, the container has to be upright, then it will be filled to the brim. But if it is not, it is inverted, then doesn't matter how much it rains, it will not have any impact, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. So this is what it is important for us to evaluate how close we have come to our destination, and what have we achieved so far with it. When intuitional knowledge arises, the world is recognized as a mere illusion. These are markers, these are signs that the teachers, Yoga Vashisht, gurus, teacher Bhagavad Gita is saying the same thing. You can try to match them up. It basically is saying that unless the world starts to appear unreal to you, till then you are in the world only, not enlightened. You are still in the world, worldly. But when the world becomes like your dream state, which means the world no longer pulls you, the world loses its power over you. You are then becoming a monarch, you become a king of kings, you do things according to uh, your intuitional vision, that knowledge arises, then you see. Because why? It's not that you have to make up something or you are faking it. It cannot be done. It either you are sleeping or you are awake, isn't it? When you are sleeping, you are dreaming. So suppose somebody takes your name. Are you sleeping? You say yes. If you say yes, are you really sleeping? No. You just have your eyes closed, because if you really were sleeping, you would not have said yes. So much in the same way, ऐसे ही जब हम इन संसार के चक्र में घूमते हैं, intuitional knowledge pragya arises, it becomes a illusion, bhranti. This terminates the distracting desires of the mind, which means they are in the fourth transcendental state that we call turiya, turiya, turiya avastha. So then over there, the mind gets destroyed. Most people will say, what? What do you mean the mind gets destroyed? Yes, the mind is no longer needed. This mind that is deciding I should do this, I should do that, these senses, it's there, but it's no longer able to control you. Right now, the mind controls us. Mana eva manushyanam. So, by proper intuitive understanding, going deeper and deeper and deeper into your unconscious state, you have the calmed down the mind. When we say the mind dies, it doesn't mean the mind is no longer there. The mind now becomes an obedient servant, slave. It can no longer dictate things. It first was a drunken monkey with a razor in its hand that was ruining your life, and now with proper guidance and proper clarity, you use it as you please. It is now a genie in a bottle. You rub it and ask for something, and it can do. But other than that, it will not control you. This is termed as nirvana. In Buddhism, they say nirvana. In Sanatan Dharma Upanishads, we say moksha, and different people call it different things. But God realization, self realization, moksha, nirvana, all these are the same thing with different twists, different synonyms, so to speak. So, this is indeed moksha or liberation. So, just like the bud that blooms into a flower, do you think it can become a bud again? Ever? No. That bud will never become a bud again. It may generate seeds and flowers, and we may have new buds, but that particular bud, once converted into a flower, blooms, it's done. That is enlightenment. When a caterpillar becomes a butterfly, that is enlightenment. Till that happens, till that time happens, the caterpillar has no idea what it feels like to be a butterfly. It has to go through the journey, and then only it sees it. That's what this is. So, wherein the world process ceases to exist, therein the state of infinite bliss is experienced. Infinite bliss. Can you even can you even contemplate on what that means? Most of us have no idea. We just relate to worldly joys as pleasure, joy, happiness, bliss, sometimes we call it. Even a little bit of ignorance you experience in your sleep gives you so much joy. Can you imagine what that Bhuma looks like? Its infinite bliss is experienced all the time, not just sometime, not just now and not later, not when you are experiencing pain but not joy. It is there waking, dreaming, whether you are in pain, facing adversity, prosperity, doesn't matter what happens for you at that point in your, the body may suffer. This is why Ramakrishna Paramahansa, throat cancer, 50 some years old, throat cancer, and he passed away also. But to him, this body was just a joke. He was laughing at it. He says, "This is a drum. I have beaten it enough. I don't want it anymore. It's okay." But we are so attached to it. So, this is the difference between enlightened beings and average human beings, that uh, we theoretically know what we want, but practically we are not there yet. Maybe we will get there, but not, we are not there yet because of all these qualifications that are needed. But if we are sincere and enjoy the journey, we can all get there, every one of us, because we are the architects of our own destiny. And if we are sincere, we can achieve it. So the world is temporarily lost in sleep, isn't it? How much of our time goes in sleep? One third of your life, 6 to 8 hours. Doctors say at least 8 hours of sleep, 24 hours in a day. So where is time for sadhana? Then you work also. Some of you work. 8 10 hours are gone there. Then you have to eat. Then you have to take care of the family, the kids, the this, the that. Then what about samadhi? What about sadhana? That is why they say consistently 15 to 30 minutes, if you can afford. Everybody can do that because we waste more time sometimes just in idle gossiping. So if we make a resolution कि इतना तो करना ही है, then your life will become more rhythmic, more beautiful. But if you are close to retirement or you have more time on your hands, all the more a blessing for you. It is raining right now. Till the land, it is much easier. So, but it is completely lost when intuitional knowledge reveals its falsity. So, that is important, that we have to understand intuitional knowledge is the only way that we can get enlightened. We cannot earn it through our effort, our memorizations, our logic, our cunningness, our hard work. All that is, of course, hard work is required, self effort is required, satsang is required, but they're all called the gatekeepers to liberation. Satsang, Shama, Santosh, Vichar. Satsang, um, good company, scriptures, santosh, contentment. Why contentment? Because if you are not contented, forget about liberation. You are not even happy with the things God has given you. You have a nice house, you have a nice car, you have good kids, this, that, but still you want more. I want that nicer, expensive car. I want a bigger house. I want a bigger this, a bigger that, a better wife, this, that. It never ends, does it? So that is why we have to open our eyes, look ourselves in the mirror, and then say, okay, what do I really want? Because we slap ourselves on one side and then we are rubbing our cheek on the other side. And that's not a good solution for us. So, Brahman is the ultimate reality that remains after the negation of the not self. So, what happens after you get enlightened? Everything becomes Brahman, or the self, that God particle through which is this whole Advaita concept, non dual concept. There is only one sun in our solar system, but countless rays, countless solar energy, lots of heat, lots of radiations, lot of this, millions of things can be, energy is generated, but still only through one. Much in the same way that one unifying principle we call God has turned into multiplicity of millions of things. So that is the important thing to understand. The blessed state of liberation is attained by studying the scripture and meditating upon its teaching. So, this is why we are studying this scripture so carefully, and then the next step is to practice it. Studying, listening is one thing, and then contemplation and meditation is the next logical step to take. This is not, homework is not done. Even in school, they would tell us 1 hour of classroom work means 2 to 3 hours of homework and studying at home. If you are a good student, otherwise, anything goes. So, without the scriptural understanding, by the mere practice of various religious disciplines, this is very important because many people are so deluded. They think, oh, I've done good deeds, I have fed hungry people, I've gone to pilgrimages, I've done this, I've done that. Now that's enough. So here the Upanishads, Yoga Vashisht Muni is telling who? Lord Rama. He says, without this understanding, by the mere practice of various religious disciplines such as pilgrimages, going to holy sites, acts of charity, giving to poor, doing this, doing that, meditation, doing lots of meditation here, there, and even with effort, austerity, austerity, I won't eat, I will fast, sacrifices, I will give up this, I will give up that. All these things no doubt are worthy, no doubt are very good for compared to most people who are average. But just remember, what are you asking for? Maybe you are not asking for it, but if you are asking for it, then then it is our duty to tell you that this is the bar. When you go for a PhD program, what is the first question you have to produce? Your master's certificate, without which you cannot get entry. So much in the same way, we have to have these qualifications first. Otherwise, we will be deluded thinking, oh, we are very good. We have done so much dan, we have done so much karma yoga, we have done so much charity, we have done so much tapasya, we have kept so many fasts and sacrifices. Vashisht Muni says, forget about liberation. All these are good. You will get a better birth, a nicer home, you can get wealth, you can get heaven, you can get the better loka where you will be million times more comfortable than you are right now, but no liberation for you. Still, you will have to come back and start the journey and work harder. But the best part is that it's a trick. You have to know, it's not like the harder you work the luckier you get. That doesn't work that way. You have to know the technique. If the fridge doesn't have the power outlet plugged properly, nothing will work. Nothing in that fridge will work. It will rot everything. Much in the same way, we have to learn this technique, and this is what we are doing. I think we are doing it properly. We are understanding. We have enlightened guru. If there are on any questions, we address them, we try to answer them. This is not for everybody. Only a few selected souls, just a few, you can count them on your hand. Most other people are lost. They think, oh, बहुत अच्छा हो गया, ये है वो. इतना easy नहीं है. Because as soon as the lecture ends, satsang ends, we are back into the same old rut. What is for dinner? What is for breakfast? Why did he do this? Why did he do that? Suddenly the Brahman is gone and the world has become very real. See, so this is why Swami Shivananda of Divine Life Society, he used to say initially that at least 3 to 5 years of intense solitude is very much recommended for advanced aspirants, because we are currently living in Kali Yuga. If nothing else, we turn on the TV. If nothing else, we are talking to somebody or this, that. Everything in this day and age has become very interactive. We don't know what silence sounds like, what peace feels like, what should we do. And so, but yet ultimately these practices, this sadhana is the same. It has to be maintained. There is no, just because science has advanced and we have done more better things in science, we are doing more technological advancements, Don't be under the illusion that we are advancing. This is a big mistake. We are actually going digressing. There were aerial flights and Pushpak Viman and all this. Sanatan Dharma 10,000 years ago knew that this, well, not even 10,000, timeless, we don't know what date, that the world was round. Vara avatar came and he picked it up, the earth from the ocean. And then there were these Vimans, aerial chariots. Lord Rama's Pushpak Viman could adjust back and forth as much as you wanted. It was on autopilot, your current navigation systems and whatnot. But the point is, even today, with all of this stuff, look at what AI is doing to all of us, right? It is making us lazy, and there is so much fraud, cyber, cryptocurrency, this, that, so much fraud, and an average person is more unhappy today with all this technology. Our glasses are increasing, nobody is playing things healthy, playing healthy, life is gone. Everybody is living in stuffed homes, and wondering, why are we not peaceful anymore? How can we be? So that is what here Vashisht Muni is saying. Do the simple things in life. God is the same, earth is the same, water is the same, fire is the same, air is the same, ether is the same. No change to any of these things. So what do we do as humans, the smart so-called humans that we are? We do a combination and permutation of these five things. Which one of these five did we create that we are so proud of today? Not even one. Not even that. One little corona comes and the whole world starts to shiver, shake. We don't know what to do. One war that is going on, yeah, it never ends. We do this, we do that, because greed doesn't end, desires don't end, selfishness doesn't end. We call it diplomacy. All this stuff, fine. People want to live in the world at this level, then they can do so. But enlightened sages and saints are far away from all this. They also have to eat, they also need a hut or a palace, whatever they stay, it doesn't matter. For any enlightened being, they are beyond gravity, but we are not. For us, these problems are very real. So, illusion cannot be removed without the wisdom gained by the study of the scripture. What more do we want? Everything we are now, this is the final essence of the knowledge we are getting from Vashisht Muni. He says, if because illusion is not neither real nor unreal, it is anivarchaniya, indescribable in English. So we cannot find it just by those things, by doing all those are nice, honorable, good actions. So, not to be misunderstood, we are not saying don't do them all. They help us purify our inner conscience. Very good, but we have to remove ignorance. Suppose you see a snake in a rope, it's a rope, but in semi darkness, you think it's a snake, and all of a sudden you uh, panic and you break your hip bone because of the fall you have. And then when you fall, you see the rope. It wasn't a snake at all, it was simply a rope. That is the predicament we are dealing with. But the fracture is not a rope. The fracture was real. Your hip broke for good. Now you have to go through 6 months of healing therapy, blah blah blah, all that. So much in the same way, we have to understand that this wisdom we gain, you cannot you cannot hit darkness and say produce light or we'll get very mad at you. Light, darkness, run away, or we'll beat you with a whip, or we'll fire you with a pistol. Do you think darkness will go? No. Much in the same way, illusion has to go, but through the proper tools. So all we have to do is turn on the light switch, isn't it? Not hard. But do you know where the light switch is? If it's If it's not your home, you have to ask, okay, what do I do? And you have to know that that's what will turn the light on. That is what we are talking about. Not hard work. Charity is good, other things are good. Continue to do that, make this world a better place. But if you want enlightenment, then wisdom is needed. That's why we say integral yoga, karma, bhakti, jnana, dhyan, action, reason, emotion, and will. Night cannot disappear without the rising of the sun, isn't it? The night, रात कितनी भी अंधेरी हो, जब तक सूर्य देव नहीं आएंगे अंधेरा नहीं मिटेगा. The night will not run away just because without the sun. As soon as the ray of the sun comes, dawn comes. Slowly we see everything, and every night it becomes totally dark. So that is the satsang we had today, and you can see how powerful this illusion is, negation. ये जो भ्रांति है कितना गूढ़ है, इसको समझने के लिए बहुत तपस्या और बहुत हमें आनंद के साथ इसमें घुसना पड़ेगा, तब संभव हो जाएगा. और हमको we also have to want it. If you don't want, then no problem, you keep coming back, and eventually in some other life it may happen. So we have concluded this section today, section 173 to 174, the negation of illusion. And we will pick up section 175, the self alone exists. So let us do Aarti. Um, so Mark G, I see you have sent a question. It seems fairly long, and we have to wrap up now. It's 8:55. So what we can do is I will review it and I will respond to you, or we will pick it up in next week's session. Okay. So let's do that and do Aarti together, and after that we will conclude the satsang for today. For Sunday, we will see you in the temple, and we hope that we will have a good positive experience, Priya ji and all of you who are watching. So let's do that, and that will be on Sunday morning between I think at around 10:45 to 10:50. We try to start by then at least, but we are there at 10:30. So let's do Aarti together. Thank you to all who joined in, and may God bless you with Shakti, Bhakti, Mukti, and may Sage Vashishta's blessings be upon each of you. We are also enjoying Gupta Navratri currently, so may the goddess, may Prakriti Devi also bestow her blessings upon all of you. Hari Om Tat Sat. जय जय आरती विघ्न विनायक, विघ्न विनायक श्री गणेशा. जय जय आरती सुब्रह्मण्य, सुब्रह्मण्य कार्तिकेया. जय जय आरती वेणुगोपाला, वेणुगोपाला वेणुलोला. पाप विदुरा नवनीत चोरा. जय जय आरती वेंकट रमणा, वेंकट रमणा संकट हरणा. सीतारामा राधे श्यामा. जय जय आरती गौरी मनोहर, गौरी मनोहर भवानी शंकर. सांब सदा शिव उमा महेश्वर. जय जय आरती राज राजेश्वरी, राज राजेश्वरी त्रिपुर सुंदरी. महाकाली, महालक्ष्मी, महासरस्वती, महाशक्ति. जय जय आरती आंजनेया, आंजनेया हनुमंता. जय जय आरती दत्तात्रेया, दत्तात्रेया त्रिमूर्ति अवतारा. जय जय आरती शैनेश्वराया, शैनेश्वराया भास्कराय. भास्कराया। जय जय आरती सद्गुरुनाथा, सद्गुरुनाथा शिवानंदा, सद्गुरुनाथा ज्योतिर्मयानंदा, सद्गुरुनाथा साई बाबा। जय जय आरती विघ्न विनायक, न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चंद्र तारकम्, नेमा विद्युतो भाति कुतोऽयम् अग्निः, तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं, तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम्, उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्ति भवतु, सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ करचरणकृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वापराधं विहितमविहितं वा सर्वमेतत्क्षमस्व। जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो, जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो, जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो। समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ ब्रह्मर्पणं ब्रह्महवि ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं, ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिनः। अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः, प्राण अपान समायुक्ता पचामन्यं चतुर्विधं। हरिः ओं तत्सत्। ब्रह्मर्पणमस्तु। समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। So with this we conclude our satsang for today. Thank you for joining in. शक्ति भक्ति मुक्ति आप सबका कल्याण हो, मंगल हो और भगवान की कृपा आप सब पर बनी रहे। And we will see you on Sunday morning from the Shiva Vishnu temple. Hari Om Tat Sat.